Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
What's good, and welcome back to another session and showcase on a unit. This one was requested a while back, but it did take me a little while to go through the link skill level grind. So finally we're at 100% potential with the max level links on the extreme physical type Super Saiyan Vegeta. And this is one of the oldest units to exist in the game, and you know, to be honest, the passive skill is pretty good. The only problem is this guy is severely outdated, so even if he's got a pretty phenomenal passive skill, it really does become quite worthless based on, you know, situations where essentially the enemy is immune to being attack lowered and whatnot. And we'll talk about the specifics here in a second when we run through the you know, the unit stats and details. But I think what I want to start doing for every video going forward is start throwing in like random trivial or pop quiz, and basically the first person to comment the right answer, I'll include you on the next video and that type of deal. So for this one, I guess I'm just gonna create a random question, an easy enough question. Let's just say, when was my channel created? YouTube channel created. First person to answer that, I'll feature you on the next video. So we'll go from there, and hopefully this will be kind of a additional fun thing for every video going forward. Alright, so let's go back in and talk about the Super Saiyan Vegeta unit. So again, quite old. This unit came out on JP April 10th of 2017. That is actually the Dokkan Awakened version. So the original card came out on January 30th of 2015. So that is really one of the oldest units to come out in the game. Alright, so with that being said, there are indications and implications, I should say, as to how outdated this guy is. So let's run through it and talk about it one by one. The leader skills: agility, intelligence, physical type, HP, attack, and defense increase of 50%. So obviously you don't get any Q boost there. Super attack will cause supreme damage to the enemy and also lowers defense. The passive skill, again, like I said, is pretty nice if it wasn't so damn outdated. Attacked enemies attack minus 40%. So, you know, that's a pretty significant drop. And funny story is, when I first started playing around with the potential system, I, for whatever reason, assumed that the passive skill would stack, right? So I went like full additionals on this unit because, to be quite honest, this guy does not hit hard at all. Like, the max you can get maybe is like 800k in attack stats, and that's, you know, an ideal situation where you're loaded up on support, you know what I mean? So this is a situation where, yeah, the passive skill is nice, but the unit itself is just completely lackluster at this point. Basically, an easy A is absolutely needed for this guy to become somewhat relevant, and there's no guarantee it will. Alright, in terms of links, I mean, it's obviously pretty decent set overall. Super Saiyan attack increase of 15% at level 10. All these guys I'm just reading at level 10 states. Alright, so Saiyan Warrior Race is another attack increase of 10%. Golden Warrior is all enemies defense minus 10% and Ki +1. Royal Lineage is Ki +2 and attack increase of 5%. Shattering the Limit is Ki +2 and attack and defense increase of 5%. Prepared for Battle is Ki +2, attack and defense increase of 5% as well. Categories, pretty decent amount of categories listed for this guy: Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's Family, Super Saiyans, Android / Cell Saga. The showcase you're watching right now will include the Vegeta's Family showcase. At 100% potential, this guy has HP of 13,778, attack is 12,360, and defense is 10,371. 12 Ki Multiplier is 140%. So again, like, back to the original point, right? The passive skill, attack enemies attack minus 40%. You know, that's obviously just relevant for one turn. It doesn't stack either. So I think with a potential easy A, which is likely to happen at some point, what I would like to see is, along with that 40% reduction to attacked enemies, maybe like just increase the amount of turns, right? I'd be perfectly okay with 2 turns instead of 1. And then obviously build in his own attack and defense increasing boosts, like, you know, a flat percentage boost toward attack and defense, maybe a key boost, whatever. Like, all, you know, with the easy A's, they build in a lot of additional skill sets, but at the bare minimum, that's what I would like to see. Super attack, maybe upgrade that to greatly lowers defense. I think this guy really just simply hurts from, you know, the passive skill being very, very minimal. I mean, it's literally just attack enemies attack minus 40%, and that's pretty much it. If he was getting some sort of boost toward his own attack and defense, not the key situation is not really an issue with it, so I don't necessarily need him to get a Q boost, but at the minimum, just have, you know, attack or defense boost, if not both, and maybe potentially a damage reduction capacity based on the amount of Ki collected or whatever the case is. But unless you give him something like this guy will never be relevant. And trust me, I am planning on the Super Battle Road setting like showcase for this unit. I'm just thinking about the right way to do it, but that will definitely happen because quite honestly, that's the most advantageous situation and most relevant area this guy could be used on because of, you know, simply the attack reduction on the enemy. However, because of being such a liability, especially from a defensive standpoint, I don't even know if, you know, the 40% reduction toward enemies' attack is even like beneficial. You know what I mean? Like it's great to have, but it almost seems like it's offset because of simply how outdated he is. You know what I mean? And purely defense-wise, this guy is such a liability. Sometimes it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? So unless this guy gets an easy A, this guy will probably never be relevant in any, you know, current degree. You know what I mean? Like maybe like the first couple of stages of Super Battle Road might be applicable. You know what I mean? Potentially with Battlefield where for example, like Jiren and whatnot, you do want to reduce that attack. But again, even though you reduce the attack, this guy literally gets no boost toward attack and defense himself. So, you know, it's simply an offset. You're still going to take, you know, massive amounts of damage, and, you know, simply put, this guy doesn't stack that either. So, you know, I'm not 100% sure if you know, this guy's even that useful. But again, this is something I wanted to do, plus like I already saw that requested from somebody else, so it only makes sense to do this. And, you know, I'm always all about the outdated obscure units and just seeing how relevant they are, if they even are, you know, in today's state of Dokkan battle. So, you know, when it comes to showcases, I definitely do like to incorporate that. So I think a lot of you guys that have been following me for, you know, the past couple years since the channel was created, it's, you know, kind of the same mentality, so to speak. So I don't know if you know, I can't promise I'll do every single request, but if you do have any additional requests on units you want to see, you know, for any showcase video, just simply leave it in the comments and let me know. You know, I do read the comments and take that into consideration. I can't promise I'll do every single one, but, you know, the ones that do strike my eye or attention, you know, I'll certainly consider it and hopefully potentially do it. So that's probably the best way to leave it. But in terms of this guy, yeah, I mean, just simply put, an easy A needs to happen. Otherwise, this guy is going to have a hard time, you know, taking other spots in a team, really. Again, I'll be testing the SBR situations with this guy and, you know, different scenarios and, you know, how this unit performs overall. But, you know, simply put, right now, it's a little bit of a struggle to even consider including this guy on a team. So that's probably, you know, the best way to explain it. I think this unit does have a lot of potential to become great again once the Easy A actually happens and they roll out an actual appropriate upgrade to this guy. You know what I mean? Unless that happens, it's going to be a hard time. I think the offsetting unit that came out around the same time is the AGL Super Saiyan Goku as well. I can't necessarily remember on top of my head if the final product with the Easy A was somewhat relevant or useful, but I think, you know, an Easy A, simply put, is just going to be better, a lot better than, you know, the current situation. Like, I guess the best way to put it, right, is the Trohan unit, the intelligence type Super Saiyan Trunks. You know, a couple of those units did get Easy A's. They're not like phenomenal by any means, but they became a little bit more current. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good enough to where you could potentially include them on a team. So I think my expectation-wise going into this, where this guy potentially gets an Easy A, I would just simply say, as long as he's good enough to be a candidate, quote unquote, to be able to be ran on the team, I think that's all literally you can ask for. And honestly, I'd be, you know, definitely content with that improvement. That's really all I'm asking for. So we'll kind of wait and see what happens. But again, at this current state, this guy is definitely outdated and he definitely needs it. So hopefully it'll happen sometime in the next couple months to a year. But until then, I guess we'll have to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the showcase of this unit. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Alright, peace out, and I'll catch you guys later.